Yo, yo, hello? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Mhm. Right, so I'm gonna keep the focus on silver for this one because that's what we all analyzed. But good morning, good morning. All right, so silver. I'm bullish based off the daily chart. So daily chart, we're pretty much under a key level. We got bearish structure, so people who trade structure and people who trade support and resistance are bearish here. Full hourly chart, similar thing, kind of under resistance as well. Under that resistance as well. So people who trade structure and people who trade support and resistance are bearish on this. So this gives you a high probability narrative to the buy side. And 1 hourly, obviously, everyone is bearish based off structure, based off support and resistance. So now we can go ahead and start. So, right, so my drawn liquidity for the hourly chart would be this low. Because under this low, everyone becomes bearish. That's my drawn liquidity. And the liquidity that I thought price might want to reach for under that draw is right over here. So that's why when I was short from up there, I aimed for down here. So this is why price sped up as well over here. It had to run away from all of these bears that we're looking to short. All right. Now we're at my point of interest that I'm looking for us to potentially bottom out. If I'm right about this. So now I'm going to drop down to a 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, I could see that people who trade support and resistance are going to be bearish around here, and people who trade structure are bearish as well. So right now, I'm convinced that there is buy side liquidity built up over here on the 15-minute chart. So right over here, we got buy side liquidity. We got buy side liquidity right there. Now, in order for this to be a bottom, then we need to allow for these bears to position themselves. Because only once they position themselves, then there is liquidity. And for them to position themselves, so structure traders, they'll be looking to get in either at the optimal trade entry, the previous low, or half. And support and resistance are going to look to get in around here. So we're going to look for this area to confirm our narrative. So I'm looking for us to retrace to confirm the narrative. And if we can find out why we should retrace up there, then that also confirms the narrative already. So right over here on the 1 minute chart, you could see okay, so 1 minute chart, first off, I'll start with this. So 1 minute chart is less consistent because the data is not as good, because not everyone is looking at the same things and people have a different trading style. But based off the 1 minute chart, support and resistance traders would be bearish here, and structure traders, some would be bearish and some would be bullish based off this, but mostly bearish, I would say. So I would say now it's like medium probability on the 1 minute that we run up to here. And if we run up there, then now we got a 5 and 15-minute bias telling us that we are running up here. So this is why I'm gonna do a paper trade. I'm already swinging this, so no need for that. Right, so let's just do a paper trade here. And I'll show you how I'll show my stop along the way. So right over here, price is now gaining above this level. Now, on the 1 minute chart, let me commentate this. So on the 1 minute chart, now many people, all the support and resistance traders are gonna flip bullish here. So right now, what I would look for is I would look for us to run away from these guys and accelerate into where? In this case, I would look for at least this without stopping. So right over here, and right over here, we're in another potential area where we can see an accumulation because this is the OTE. So right now, an accumulation here creates liquidity up here. Right, so my entry was pretty much at the start of the scandal. Right over here it was. The spread is just insane. That's why it's showing it over there, but whatever. Right. Now, you see how we're reaching into this area without stopping? It's because up here, everyone gets bullish, so price needs to gain distance from them aggressively. Now that it gained some distance, it can accumulate. There we go. We tapped into here. Then again, we don't have to accumulate, but we could. We want to. We could, though. Right. Now we're up here. This is confirming 15-minute chart bullish. The 15-minute chart is confirmed bullish by touching down on this. Okay. So now 15-minute could stop to accumulate now up here. It could like get into this and then reject. It could do this. That could happen over here. That is something that could potentially happen. Not necessarily a point I'm looking for us to speed through, not yet at least. But yeah. You guys saw me getting down here, just so you know. It wasn't where the entry is shown. It's actually a little lower. Right, I'm gonna go get me a coffee, but you guys can continue to watch price meanwhile, and I'll be back to commentate this even more. There we go. Now it's in this area. Now watch out for this area. Here we could reject and come back into here and consult and reaccumulate. Okay, well the fact we got this close up here kind of tells me we might not want to do it, but we will see. I'm not gonna make that prediction yet, but the fact we got the close up here is telling me they're flipping everyone bullish. So that means we might just aggressively expand towards that high. But we'll see. If we come back right into this range and consolidate here, that's actually what I wanted to see. So that's like an accumulation around here. All right, I'm gonna go get me coffee, and then I'll be back to protect the price. Right, I'm back. Okay, got me a coffee. There we go. So based off the 5 minute close up here, we could say that everyone's flipping bullish. On the 3 minute though, we still didn't get a close up here. So once the 3 minute closes up here, I would look for price to aggressively expand towards this buy side liquidity. Okay, so watch out for that. That is something that's very likely to happen. So if the 3 minute closes right over here, I want to see it close deep above this level, not just slightly. So in 1 minute we will know. So if we get that, then I'm gonna expect an aggressive expansion to that buy side. I would have caught a better entry if I was a bit more in tune, but it was a very quick decision to enter this. I did not get to plan out how the 15 minutes or how the 5 minute how I would execute on that. I did get to plan out everything else around it, but not the lower time frame. Right, so it looks like the 3 minute is rejecting. So that means we're likely in for an accumulation, which is fine. But we will know in 20 seconds. So yeah, there we go. It's rejecting. Okay, so we're in for an accumulation as I was suspecting earlier. So right now I'm looking for an accumulation here before another expansion up to there. So right now we're in for an accumulation. The accumulation also means that we can even go as deep as back down here if we want. But this low should be safe, so my stop's safe at that. But I wouldn't expect a deep retracement on this though. But yeah, there's a difference between what I expect and what's gonna happen, so we'll see. But right. So as I said, from here, likely we reject and accumulate. Meanwhile, let's check out on the rest of my trade. Let's check in on those. All right. I'm short US oil. Shit's going to zero. I'm also eyeing gold because gold's gonna have a very interesting opportunity soon. Um, this candle doesn't exist. I'm gonna go in on a different chart. There we go. Normal chart. Right, so gold this doesn't look like a low to me. I'd look for that to get rated, but gold's preparing to bottom out. Just want to see it slow down a little bit around here. We have soon to be high probability order block on the 10-minute chart right over here. Right, so 1 minute chart looks ready to go up. So 1 minute chart right now looks ready to go up. Yeah, so 1 minute chart, you see this bearish structure. This is tricking retail into shorting. So now, as soon as it starts to recover, based off structure, I would say we have a buy side narrative. However, that's just structure. So I typically look for structure and support and resistance for something that's high probability. But if it's only structure, then I will always have to use it in confluence with something. So in this case, we have structure telling us that people are bearish here. alongside with an external bias telling us people are bearish based off this level. But on the 1 minute, we only have structure. So now this low is potentially a bottom, right? So remember, this low is potentially a bottom right over here. But that's based off the 1 minute, and I don't really make decisions on the 1 minute because the data is pretty inconsistent. But let's see. Based off the 1 minute, what we should see is this. That's based off the 1 minute. And if that is the case, then I will look for us to speed up above this. Yeah, I can get a chart going on Bitcoin soon, but silver is interesting enough for me. Hold up, where is it? Live price action, raw price action. I don't like these closes. I was just about to say that. I don't like these closes. Right, so 1 minute chart inconsistent as always, but right over here it's about to touch down on the 10-minute order block. As I said, it can also come back down under this level, and I'm still fine with it. The reason I said it can come back down under this level is because some might be bullish based off the structure, not many, but some are definitely bullish based off the support and resistance level. And in order to flip those guys bearish, we gotta get under this. So you see? So right down here is a potential area we will go to. But if we don't even touch the support and resistance level, then we don't even have to go there. But we'll see. Five-minute looks dope. 10-minute looks dope. Yeah, that's a 10-minute order block that we rated into. This might be the low. Yeah. Right. Well, okay, so now watch out here. I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna look for speed. So look at this. When price gets above this high, and it needs to clearly get above that high, not just slightly get above it. It needs to clearly get above not only this high, also the support and resistance level. So it's got to get above the support and resistance level on the 3-minute chart, and it's got to get clearly above this high on the 3-minute chart as well. So once we get a move of that sort, once we get a candle that closes in an area that flips everyone bullish based off the structure and support and resistance, we can expect an aggressive expansion towards the buy side liquidity. So right over here, you see this? Aggressive expansion in here if the condition, yes. 4. Right. So remember this aggressive expansion in here if the conditions I asked for arrives. All right. So right, we're pushing above the level. 30 seconds to the close. I'm liking it. 20 seconds to the close. This is likely it. Okay, so this close doesn't do it. It needs to be a bit higher than that. So yeah, I'm looking for to see what happens with this candle. Even though this looks kind of good, I guess if I drag down the support, if I readjust the support resistance level like this, then that looks fine. You know what? This looks okay. This looks like I could half say this is I couldn't say this like with certainty, but this looks like something I could just wing and I guess say from here we should see the fast expansion. So the aggressive expansion. So let's see. If it doesn't, then we already know why. It's because we need this candle to close. But you know what I'm looking for. Why did I even have the resistance? Oh, I had the mark based off that low. Okay, now the resistance level was marked well. Should be even like this. Because on the 15-minute, yeah, on the 15-minute, it's definitely marked like that. All right. Yeah, once we get above this high 30, then that is my trigger for the fast expansion. Right. Ready, 50 seconds to the close. Where this candle closes means said it all. Whether we come back down to accumulate or we instantly expand up there, aggressively expand up there. Okay, so this close is definitely above the support level, so I guess, but it's not above the structure. But I guess most would flip bullish here. Well, I guess this is like kind of filling in the conditions. So let's see if we get that aggressive expansion or not. It's pretty much almost the entire checklist I would look for. So it's like 90% of it. Yep. If price rejects back into here, then that's I want to see it close above this. That's like my line in the sand. I want to see it close above that for that aggressive expansion. Yep. Now this is still just a rejection. Right. Well, the next place I'm looking for us to go to is this reaccumulate, go up perhaps. All depends on this candle, I guess. It all depends on what happens up here. If up here we reject, then it's likely we come down here, reaccumulate, go up. If we get above this high clearly, then we just go aggressively up directly. I hope you guys understand what I mean over here. It's all down to what happens around this area. I'll keep this on the side for now. Yeah. 20 seconds to the close. Let's see if we close it above this line. It needs to be clearly above the line, not just slightly, but clearly. Oh. Right, it's likely to reject now. Whether it gets under here or not, I don't know. It's all down to what happens in this area. So now, if this candle or the next candle or the candle after that close above here clearly, then that does it for the aggressive expansion. But if we start coming down, then we're likely headed to here to reaccumulate. That's where we're likely going to be headed if we start going down. So if we start going down, this is the area I'm looking for the reaccumulation in. But if we hold around here and get above this level clearly, then I'm looking for that aggressive expansion. So that's my if-then statements. And then the stop can be pushed. If I get the conditions I'm asking for, then I can push my stop. So 1 minute to this close. Let's see what's up. Let's see where we close. If you guys wonder why I care for the closes of the candles, how candles close has a huge impact on where there is liquidity. And if you don't understand that and you don't value candle opens and closes, and I'll explain to you now why you're entirely wrong. All the shapes you see in the markets are consisting of opens and closes of candles. Whenever you see that structure you trade, that consists of opens and closes of candles, right? So if retail sees the markets and they will judge a wick differently than they will a candle with a body that big. So this means that the bodies of the candles affect the way retail makes decisions. So if the bodies of the candles affect the way retail makes decisions, then the bodies of the candles, by extension, affects the liquidity in the markets. Okay? So the bodies of the candles create the shapes that affect how retail judges the markets, which creates liquidity. Right now, this candle kind of looks like it's gaining acceptance above. Let's see if we get it. I want to see where this candle closes to confirm. So right now it can just be a wick, but well, in hindsight, when you look at this, you're gonna see an aggressive expansion between here and here. That's what you're gonna see. Inside of this box, you'll see that an aggressive expansion. That's yep, there it is. You see that? Now it's gonna continue at least until here. Above here, let me see if there's anything else that we might want to reach for. Yep, above here, we might want to reach for this without stopping. And above that, I can't really predict it. So, but we will see. Now remember, aggressive expansion, I said. This means we have no room for retracements. I can now push my stop. You see this? You see this right over here? You guys underestimate the power of understanding where you're going to see an aggressive expansion. Because if you know there's going to be an aggressive expansion on a weekly chart, imagine if you know that all the weekly candles are going to aggressively expand towards a certain place. Imagine you know that. Just imagine that for a second. You know how crazy that is. You know all the weekly candles are going to aggressively push up to that certain place. That gives you a daily bias for every day of every week until that target gets hit. And that's a solid daily bias as well. Right? And that daily bias helps you trade the lower time frames with accuracy, and you can catch really tight stops with really insane targets over and over and over again. So this is a 3-minute candle, so you're not so impressed. But imagine if you do this on a weekly candle. Imagine if you do this on a daily candle. Imagine if you do it on an hourly candle and scalp the 1 minute. Well, on an hourly candle, it's actually typically you can't really scalp it because it just goes there instantly because of like news or something like that. But the ideal time frame to predict an aggressive expansion for me is the daily. That's the most beneficial one because then I can go down to the lower time frames and trade that beautifully. Exactly as I said, you see that? Now it's likely to continue reaching for this at the very least, but we will see about that. That above here I cannot accurately predict. Okay, so I'm not going to make any predictions about this. Okay, but you see this aggressive expansion? Note this. All right, this is for your notes. You need to really think what is the logic between why did I expect an aggressive expansion here? And also I expected one over here and I told you also over here that I'm expecting once we get above this level an aggressive expansion to here. And then right over here we have a resistance plus bearish structure, so we should reaccumulate. Notice we got the reaccumulation and then the other expansion. So you see how I did this twice over live, right? So it's not bullshit. You can learn this as well. You can predict when price is going to move slowly and when it's going to move with speed, all with one thing. That one thing is called liquidity. All right. Now, over here, if I now see price trade down to here, so if price now trades down to here, then that indicates to me it wants to come back down here. And if it wants to come back down here, then I can get a lower entry. So I rather secure some profits and come back in lower. So right now we're confirmed in profits, and yeah. Let's take a look at the 4 hourly, how it's looking like. 4 hourly is looking like it could be the start of a low. Hourly is looking good as well. Right, the next area we're likely to see an accumulation at is this bearish structure over here. So around this red line, we have a fair value gap right up here. this is an area where I'm gonna keep an eye on. Okay. And if I had to guess, we would expand there aggressively. If I had to guess, it's going to be an aggressive expansion up to there, and we'll see like an aggressive type of consolidation. If I had to guess, though, this I cannot accurately predict. I can guess this though with intuition. Right? So it's not bullshit everything I'm teaching you, and it's not like reinvent. It's not like I'm even. This is even not even nothing anything new under the sun. It's just liquidity, man. It's just liquidity. And I mean, it's unfortunate that there's nobody else that knows how to teach this, but I had to research this on replay mode for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours every day to know all of these things because these things are not taught anywhere. I wish they were. Okay, right over here we could see a small reaccumulation, but once the 15-minute gains acceptance above this high, so that would be the green line that we're looking at, then we could look for another aggressive expansion potentially. But this one is not high probability. It doesn't have my entire checklist to predict one. But this one over here filled my entire checklist pretty much. So right over here, 15-minute gains acceptance above, that confirms an aggressive expansion potentially to that. So this is real-time candles, guys. It's not replay mode. Oh, gold's looking decent. Gold's looking interesting. It still looks like it's got a little lower to go on gold, though. I don't know. I don't trust this low. It looks, it looks scam. It looks like a scam for now. But we will see, I guess. There is one chart I want to keep an eye on, though. Yeah, YM, I'm looking for it to clear to get under this line. So, and then I'll consider a long. Mm. Anyways, how's everyone? Drop a like, guys. We have had 133 viewers across this, and we only have 14 likes. Go ahead and drop a like right now. Right, so as I said over here, we could see a reaccumulation because retail sees this as a double top as a potential resistance forming as well. So we reached in exactly for this. Right over here, we could see a tight reaccumulation. I would like to see it aggressively reacting from this fair value gap though. So this fair value gap, even the upper portion of it. So I would keep an eye on the upper half of it. I'd like to see it respect the upper half of this fair value gap based on liquidity. I'm no fair value gap expert. I just know liquidity. So based on liquidity, I just want to see price risk like fuck around these levels before expanding. Right, so I'll just draw out what I'm expecting like this, right? And if we come down here, then I will look to just get back in lower after securing profits. Simple as that. But right now, I think the more likely scenario is that we do this. So I always have if thens in my head. Always got if thens in my head. Seems interesting. Let me hop on Bitcoin real quick. On a chart I don't have charted. Right, so Bitcoin is super annoying. The daily chart's not looking the best, but it hasn't touched down on this, so this is fine for me. I don't want to see this touch because this literally allows all of retail to buy. So I'm not. I don't want to see it come down there. But yeah, I'd like to see us get away from this area, and I'd be happy. So it came super close to my stop yesterday, super close, but I did not touch it. So, anyways, back to silver. How's the 1 minute chart looking here? So there is a fair value gap right over here on the 1 minute chart. This dump looks like it would engineer a lot of fear. So I don't even see the need to come into this. Okay. We could still come into that though. This looks like it would engineer FOMO. So if I was looking too long and it just ran away from me like this, I might now enter here. So that could create liquidity down here. But we'll see. This dump looks like it creates fear. This looks like it creates FOMO. Maybe something like this. Simple as that. This is starting to look like a low, a genuine low. It's forming that swing low pattern. Yeah, this looks like this could explode up now. Like the next 3 minute candles look like they could explode up. Yeah, the next, there we go. You see that? This and potentially the next 3 minute candles look like they could explode up. And this was looking like a swing low pattern for me. So I'm looking for potentially this expansion, this part of what I sketched out, to start playing out now, I guess. Let's check out the 15-minute chart. 15-minute closes in 4 minutes. So for the expansion to happen, I'd like to see us close in 4 minutes above the green line. So in 4 minutes, I want to see us above the green line if we are going to expand, to see that aggressive expansion, which will likely lead us up to there. But this second expansion over here, this third expansion over here, it doesn't fill my entire checkbox. It doesn't fill my entire checklist. It doesn't tick off every box, but it makes sense though. So yeah, anyways, in 4 minutes, right over here, I want to see us above this to confirm an expansion. Otherwise, we're still going to be consolidating. Coming into here. By the way, how's my mic? How do you guys hear me? Good? Is it there should be no noise. It should be very quiet and you should only hear my voice. No background noises. Alright. You got a phone call, 1 sec. Okay. Okay, this needs to recover quickly. As long as it doesn't touch the invalidation down here, then it's calm. If it comes down here, though, that's a signal we are coming down here to accumulate. What? Nah, no way. It stopped me out early. Fuck these stops. But whatever. Okay. If it let's see if we actually get invalidated over here. If it fucking runs off and it just because of that fucking bugged out paper trade stop, then I mean you guys just witnessed all of this. So I mean just consider it we're still in the trade. But if it fucking scammed me just now, then you guys witnessed it. Right? So if it fucking runs up from here, I did not sell down here. I would not have sold over here. Remember that. I got scammed. Yeah, Wanda on that fucking candle was crazy on gold. Lucky I'm not trading on a Wanda. If it runs up from here, like it better come down to the invalidation now. We got a 15-minute fair value gap formed just now, but I don't trust this one. This lower one is what I want to see. But only if we touch down the invalidation. So right, remember invalidation is here, not over here. It's here. This black line. I'll make it bold. That's invalidation. We got London Stock Exchange open in 30 minutes, which is right over here. That typically brings in some volume. Bitcoin looks like, based off support and resistance, you would be bearish here. And it does look like kind of heavy for retail, obviously. Retail eyes, you would kind of be bearish here. And there's this change of character. Yeah, it does seem like most of retail is bearish here on Bitcoin. So we could see an expansion. Well, we could see price get above this. And then above that, if it wants to reach for the higher liquidity, it's going to have to do so quickly. Let me make a real quick prediction on Bitcoin. So once we clearly get above this high, once we clearly get above that high, I will look for an aggressive expansion to that. If it wants to reach for that high, I'll have multiple targets for this aggressive expansion. I'll have this one, and I will have this one, likely to get up to that one. So like that. So I'll look for the aggressive expansion to these targets. Aggressive. Okay, so these two I'll make green. Right, so Bitcoin, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Silver fucking scammed us, guys. Silver, GG. You got scammed. Fucking Silver. Right, treat this line as my stop loss. Treat this line and I'll move it as we go. You know, the move down on Silver, though, kind of makes more sense now. It kind of makes more sense for me that we go down here first. Because because silver and gold are kind of correlated. That would make so much sense with gold. Because gold, I am looking for us to get under this low. I don't trust this low on gold. Gold is looking really extra sus right now. It's looking like that's the buy side that's the buy side liquidity. Here's your buy side draw on liquidity. And this looks like this could be a nice short. You know what? Let's get in a quick short position on gold. I didn't even get time to analyze this, but whatever. Um, yeah, I'm in a short position on gold down to here. Paper trade, obviously. So gold, let me commentate this. So right now we're forming a support level over here. So I can also see a couple of reasons to be bearish, I guess. They got a double top. So retail has, these are the retail reasons to be bearish on the 1 minute. They have a double top and they have a bearish structure break. So that's their reasons to be bearish. So on the 1 minute chart, it actually looks a little bit like it's going to go up. But on the 3 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, it looks like this is their bullish structure shift. But we only have structure telling us it's going to go down. Yeah, gold's not high probability, so I'm only papering this, but we only have structure telling us, or we also have a double bottom, I guess. Yeah, so we have structure and the double bottom. So this is like medium probability, not high probability, but medium. Let's see if we still are not invalidated on silver. Silver invalidation is here. And it's still, I still consider this as as an accumulation. So Let's see what happens. Yeah, gold looks like that was a bad decision. Oh yeah, that was definitely a bad decision. Okay, there we go. Silver is now running for the next target by the looks of it. Yeah, no, gold was not a good decision. You guys see why though, right? It didn't even come down to these structure guys. It didn't let these structure guys buy. This was the short was I consider that a gamble. But right. Let's see if silver decides to expand out from here or not. Silver needs to gain acceptance above this green line for the next aggressive expansion. So it still hasn't on the 15-minute, and we got 6 minutes to the close. So we'll see where it ends up closing. But it looks like it could. Not going to lie, 1 minute's not looking the best, but we will see. One minute reasons to be bearish is you got a double top, so retail is bearish based off the double top, but then they also have a double bottom, and they also have bullish structure, and we just mitigated that bullish structure and we cleared buy side right over here. So on the 1 minute, kind of looks like we want to go down here. That's why I said it's not looking the best. And gold, I think would have made more sense for a short after this purge. So this now would have made more sense for a short. So we could try one more. If I wanna, if it's going down, then I want to see it aggressively expand under this support level. So I want to see it aggressively expand under that support level towards, say, this fair value gap. But we will see. This is not what I consider a good trade, but it seems to me like it's 1 minute, so the data is not reliable on the 1 minute, as I told you guys, and I explained why. But as in price action, we purged liquidity. We got a nice close above this, flipping retail bullish. So retail is buying this. This created FOMO. They're buying this, and now we can confirm that price is going to come down to this area. And then based off the 5 minute, it would likely go and draw under that area. So that's like how I'm combining the 1 minute and the 5 minute here. And once we get under this, I will want to see an aggressive expansion towards here at the very least. So once we clearly get under this, remember, once we clearly get under that, I want to see an aggressive expansion to here. I'll mark that red. This red box represents what I'm looking for, an aggressive expansion. Yeah, I know. Silver, it's kind of mixed. I can see reasons to be both bullish and bearish for retail. So silver, I'm not making any predictions yet. I'll wait for London Stock Exchange open, but gold's looking a bit clearer. So once gold comes down here, we can also push the stop. Now remember where I said I'm looking for aggressive expansion. We got 3 minutes to the London Stock Exchange open, so that could make sense for the aggressive expansion. That could be like the catalyst to it. Right, silver is about to confirm our expansion. Remember, a close above this green line on the 15-minute confirms our expansion to the upside that I was talking about earlier. It doesn't quite line up with gold, but we will see, I guess. I'm just reading what I'm seeing on gold. Two minutes to the close. So where this candle, the next candle closes on the 1 minute matters a lot on silver. So remember, over here, I'll draw a red rectangle so you know what I mean. If we get the conditions I asked for, then this red box should deliver an expansion. If we don't, then it's likely going to still accumulate or go down to that. We'll know in 1 minute. In 1 minute, this 15-minute candle is closing. So where this candle closes matters a lot. Right, 30 seconds to this 1 minute close. Remember, I'm still in the silver trade. I did not get out of it here. It took me out, but I wouldn't have been stopped out if I was actually trading this. So it's just the paper trade. I use trigger stops. I don't use whatever this is. Right, 3 seconds. 1 minute looks okay. It looks good. Okay, it looks good for an expansion. This should expand to the upside. Right, now remember, aggressive expansion to the upside from here. We got stopped out on gold, but that makes sense, I guess. Right, this should be aggressive expansion to the upside. Remember what I said. The 15-minute chart. So on the 1 minute, I guess we could talk around, but on the 15-minute chart, these candles should print to the upside. So on the 15-minute chart, these candles should print to the upside. That would have been a nice long. Notice Bitcoin. Bitcoin is interesting here because it now got above this level, the support level. This resistance flipped it to support. So now it's running away from these buyers. That's why it's expanding on this candle. So if I'm right about the 15-minute expansion, then right now we're making the low of this 15-minute candle. Right now we're making that low, okay? And we're preparing to run up. open, low, we'll see where the high is, and we'll see where their close is. That's if I'm right about the expansion. Yeah, gold's not looking like it's reversing. I hoped for it to reverse to give me that low. I guess I kind of traded what I wanted to see rather than what I am actually seeing. What I should actually be seeing. But right, so this 15-minute candle finishes over here. And if we want to see the expansion, if we're expecting it to expand, and this is the low, then the macro should kick in and we should start seeing movement to the upside soon. Very soon. So open, I'm looking for the low, and then continue to expand. If it comes down here, then it's invalidated, but we will see. Actually, no, if it comes down here, that would have been validated earlier, but now I'm reconsidering that. Because now coming down here would create a bearish structure break. We will see. I'm not certain about that. But if this candle should aggressively expand to the upside, it should not have time to come down and collect this. So this would be safe in my eyes. So open, low, maybe we go with one candle all the way up. We'll see. If we do it with one candle, that will be impressive. If we do that with one candle, it will be. So on the 15-minute, we're expecting an expansion. On the 1 minute, what I'm seeing is a resistance level. So the trigger for a 1 minute expansion is when we clearly get above this level over here, flipping everyone bullish. So on the 1 minute, this is the range I'm looking for. And on the 15-minute, this is the one I'm looking for. So this is how we're combining these time frames. Yeah, this 15-minute candle doesn't have too long until it's closing. It only has 8 more minutes. So this should act as a macro for us to close green at least. Yeah, this should act as a macro for us to at least close green, at least make it above the open. So by the time we get here, I'm expecting for us at least to be above this level. If I'm right about the 15-minute, I guess. That's all assuming I'm right about the 15-minute. Gold's, yes, it is a retail resistance. Indeed, you're right. That is, yeah, no, you're totally right. When it came over here, I should have flipped bullish. I should have flipped bullish here, but I wanted to see it give me something lower, and that was my mistake. Um, I mixed what I wanted to see and what I should have seen. Right. So we got our open of the candle. We have the close, the low. Let's see how far we get within this candle. Let's see if this is it. Ready? Maybe the next 1 minute candle gives us an expansion. If gold's at reader resistance, it could accumulate here as well if it wants. There you go. We're starting to get above it. I want to see the 1 minute clearly close above this. And that confirms the start of the expansion with the 1 minute and the 15. And 17 seconds. Four seconds facing resistance. Okay, next 1 minute candle could do it. Let's see. We don't have too many 1 minute candles left until the close. This is tape reading, yes. Right, so we don't have too many candles left until the 15-minute close. So this should act as a macro, if I'm right about the 15-minute chart. We could tap into this FBG over here and use that, but we don't need to. Once we clearly get above this, I can push my stop. All right, we don't have too much time left. If this M15 candle doesn't close green, then I might be off on the 15-minute bias, and I'll have to review it. So we'll see. We still have a few more minutes. We still have 4 more minutes. Right, it seems like it's not gonna have enough time to do what I asked for it to do. Seems like it might not have enough time for that. We'll see though. I'll wait for the candle to close, I guess. But if I'm wrong about it, the only thing I can pin it on is that maybe it wasn't a very deep close. That's the only thing I could potentially pin it on. And then in that case, retail would have seen this as a resistance. That's the only thing I could pin it on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. This is a very obvious resistance for retail right now. Very obvious resistance on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, they're definitely more bearish than bullish. So on the 1 minute, smart money is definitely net long. Question is, will they want to manipulate before expanding? We will see. Like, will they want to do something like and then like run it up? Or will they just want to do this directly? We'll have to see, I guess. We'll have to see. That's not something I can predict over here. These were perfectly easy to predict. Now we're in a case where it's getting a bit harder. Yeah, the 15-minute candle has no hope. Definitely no hope left. Right, so 15-minute candle, I still consider this, I guess, an accumulation. Let me redo my analysis over here. Then it can still. It has only 1 more minute, so it has no hope. But right. So 15-minute now, because this is still an accumulation. While we are in this area, This is what I'm watching for. I'm watching for a clear close above this. While we are in this area, and if we get that, then that can confirm an expansion that will potentially lead us all the way up into there. Okay, that's what while we're in this area. But if we leave this area, then I am looking for this 15-minute order block right over here, paired with this 15-minute fair value gap right over here. That's what I'm looking for if we reject from this area. So my opinion stays the same. I want to see a clear close above this for an expansion, but if we leave this area to the downside, then I will look for us to draw into this area. Okay? So that's what I'm watching for over here. So these that's my if then statements. Okay, this could still have some hope. On the 1 minute chart, I can confirm an expansion if we clearly get above this level. If we clearly get above this level, then I can confirm an expansion. To where, I'm not sure, but I can confirm we'll see an aggressive expansion to somewhere. And how you know where that is by just watching for a rejection. Then the minute you see a rejection, that marks the end of the expansion. So above this, level, we could see an expansion. So I'm watching for us to gain acceptance above this. That's what I'm looking for right now. Go back to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, the guys who are trading this support and resistance are flipping bullish here. Guys who are trading structure though are now getting to short positions. So that's why we saw this rejection from here. It's actually an accumulation. I would like to see us dig into here though to accumulate rather than stay down here. I'd like to see us push into this area. Do you see the accumulation? But yeah, that's my take on Bitcoin right now. All right, silver, get above this level. Remember, my stop loss for the trade I entered over here, that was over here. We're still not stopped out on it. It's just stupid the paper trading, but we still would not be stopped out. Very obvious. Very obvious resistance. Very obvious resistance. We also have a very obvious support over here. If we get under the support clearly, then I will look for us to run down here. Um, no. If we get under the support clearly, then it will potentially be an expansion to here. Yeah, it's boring right now because we're accumulating. So when we're accumulating, it's never fun. I want to see where this 1 minute candle closes. If it closes under here, then I will look for us to expand, to run away from the sellers down to the sell side liquidity, which is even all the way down here. So watch for that. If this candle clearly closes under, so if it closes like around where it's at right now, then I will watch for an aggressive expansion like this, okay? Aggressive expansion like this. All the way down here. Right, aggressive expansion down to here then. 8 seconds to the close. And all right, aggressive expansion down to here. Watch this. Every single candle is aggressively going to attack. The targets I would watch for is down here, the order block, the fair value gap, and I would also watch this. So these are the targets I would watch. But Terminus is over here for this expansion. Every single candle should be aggressively printing towards this. Every single one of them. How do I predict when we're gonna see aggressive expansions? It's complicated. You guys gotta have some one-on-ones with me for that. But right. So down here is where I'd take my first partial if I was shooting this. So if this was a daily chart and I was predicting this, then I would have been in pretty early, and I would have had trades from every single one of these candles, and I would partial them here, I would partial them here, and I would partial them down here. I would not like to see us retrace into this fair value gap. This fair value gap I would not want to see us retrace into. So that would act as what ICT calls a breakaway gap, of a gap that doesn't get filled. I'm not looking for this to get filled. Don't come here. Okay? The reason we stopped here real quick, this is a speed bump, because this is a support level. People are entering positions here. So smart money, this is an aggressive accumulation. That's why it's acting as a speed bump. This candle looks like it's ready to take a shit. Maybe the next one. It's all running for the sell side. It has no time to do anything else. Right over here, first partial would have come off. If I had trades from any of these candles, I'd definitely partial them here. And stop is going to be trailed. Where is the stop going to be trailed to? Now I can move the stop. So it would have been at this fair value gap, because I said don't come here. But now that the partial's off, I would wait for it to gain a little bit more distance, and then I'd push it over here. So a little bit more distance, and I'd feel comfortable having my stop. Right, now my stop would be here. So I'm gonna make the stop. It's gonna be a brown line, and wherever that brown line is where my stop is. If I was trading this, because now is an area where the expansion can potentially end. So I want to be ready to get out. I want to be ready to forget about this bias when the expansion is coming near the end. Okay, that's why I am trailing my stop. So now my stop can soon be trailed even more. I'll keep it over here for now. It should reach the terminus. Now it's at the order block, so right over here it could face a little bit of resistance, but it should reach the terminus of this. Now I'll push my stop, I guess, here. And final target's going to be booked. And just a few more ticks, and there you go. That's the final target of the expansion booked. Right, so are you guys impressed yet? How I can predict every single candle is gonna be red and aggressively expanding down here? If that's something you want to learn, then you gotta message me. Right, so now I can start looking for upside. My if-then statement came true. Now I can start looking for upside. Now, all of this you can do only with liquidity. You don't need anything else. You can do all of this only with liquidity. You don't need literally nothing else. So now we're inside of a 10-minute order block inside of this fair value gap. So I'm looking for a reaction over here. Okay, so gold seems like it's gonna do what I was looking for. Anyways, now that it's over here, I'm looking for price to start facing resistance. I'm looking for it to start rejecting around here. So if it continues to expand down, I'm not interested. I'm looking for it to show me that it's over. I've been trading for just under 2 years. I started trading just under 2 years ago. Right, so now it's starting to look like it's potentially bottoming out. I would take a bid here if I was very confident about the slow. I would take a bid here. You know what? I think it's worth a bid. I'll put a bid on it. Will they stop down there? I'll put a bid. This is not something I consider high probability. I would not go max risk on this. I would go low risk on this, because this is, I still don't have exactly the confirmation I'm looking for here. But based off the 15 minutes, I kind of want to trust the slow. But I want to see this 15-minute candle close a bit less shit than this. It closed pretty shit. You know what? On the hourly, this could look really bad. Yeah, on the hourly, this looks actually pretty bad. But we'll see, I guess. We'll see. This is not something I consider high probability. Remember that. Bro, of course I'm consistently profitable. Gee, I've been consistently profitable for a long time. You know, if this was a daily chart and I could tell you that every single candle until this point would have aggressively expanded to the downside, imagine how these days would look like for me. Imagine me trading every single one of these days, right? Just imagine how much money you could have made. If I just told you that you have a guaranteed bias every day to down here, and I told you the potential speed bumps, and you knew exactly what to expect. I mean, you would literally make so much money in your portfolio because you can enter trades with extra tight stops because price is not going to have time to come back and hunt your stop. It doesn't have time to hunt your stop when you know to expect this. Because if it did anything else, then it's not an expansion. And if you're expecting an expansion, then it doesn't have time to do anything else. Right. Let's see if this gives us a bottom or not. Now if price reacts from here, that should mark the low. If I see like a clear run up, that should mark the low. Exactly. When you have a clear direction and you know how it's going to move, but more importantly, you know until where it's going to move, then it's literally so easy to trade. It's literally so easy to trade because you know how price is going to move. You know it's not going to have time to hunt your stop. You know that there's going to be a potential speed bump at this precise level. So you know maybe on this day you can look for a slightly deeper entry, slightly more conservative entry, but you know on the rest of the days are just going to be aggressively expanding down. So you're going to have to trade aggressively. I mean, it's literally so fun to trade expansions. So whenever I have an expanding market like that on a daily chart, which is pretty rare, but it happens, that's like my best days. Yeah, price is still heavy. It's not looking the best, so I'm not gonna lie. Gold though, let's see what's up with gold. Gold, hmm. Okay, now this looks fine. Now this I want to see us dig a little bit deeper. I want to see like this candle close bearish. And that would seem to me like most of retail would be bearish on this. That would tell me that this is a decent probability buy. And then maybe it will come deeper down into here. Okay, so gold actually is starting to look decent for a long, but silver is where we're more in sync, I guess. Gold, I'm not really focused on that chart. I'm more focused on silver. So silver, this is just a bid over what we have right now going. Right, so over here it could bottom out. Right over here it could bottom out. Okay, so right over here is a high probability order block. Well, I guess, yeah, high probability order block is what it is. I'm not looking for it to mitigate it to the tick on a 2-minute chart, but this looks like this could be a low. So how many expansions did I predict in a row? I predicted over here, I predicted over here, and I predicted over here. And I articulated them and I gave you clear reasoning on why you should see what you should see. Okay, so now if price gives me a rejection, I'll buy that. So over here, this would be a medium probability buy if we see something like this. I guess you could already throw in one bid right over here. This is a decent price. There you go. Now I want to see it go a bit higher up, and that would to me mark a low. To me that would be, yeah. To me that would, if that doesn't, if that's not the low, then I'm not sure what would be. But keep my stop here, I guess, because yeah, silver also has spread. Right, so let's see what's up with gold. One more minute until the close. This is an interesting one. Right, so this could recover with speed. This could quickly recover. This thing could quickly recover. It could even do it within like as fast as it did. We will see though. We'll see about that, I guess. If it is bullish, I guess. But we will see. That's another decent buy. If it wants to come down to the order block, then that's fine for me. But this is looking like a bullish accumulation on a 1 minute chart to go up. That's how it's looking like. Because we have this bearish structure. So this could definitely be a turning point. And above this high, it could explode. But this doesn't tick off everything in my checklist. So I'm not gonna predict an expansion here. But if it wants to expand, then it's likely to do so once it gets above this high. Um, and like run away from anyone who's looking for like a structure break, etc. But we'll see, I guess. This doesn't take off my checklist, so I'm not gonna predict it. All right, I'm gonna call it a stream soon, because it's getting quite long, and I kind of want to go out and do some other things, go out to the gym, I don't know, etc. This is the first live session I've done in a very long time, so I don't do them often. I don't do live streams often. It is recorded and it should be uploaded. It should be recorded and uploaded. I'm not if it's not, then rip. But you guys can rewatch it always if it is. Okay, it seems like gold has a little bit deeper today. So that could tell us that silver wants to go a bit deeper into the order block. I want to see gold clearly be under this for me to be confirmed on it. Okay, Bitcoin's at a high probability order block, and it's under support level. So now people are flipping bearish. So Bitcoin could see a run up soon. Okay, this is now looking like it's coming down to this order block. That's where it might find the bottom. We will see though.